What is up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, here to educate you on health, fitness, social well-being. And I want to start this video off. This isn't really so much a physique update, but I just want you guys to kind of take a look so you can see what I look like. This is me completely relaxed. I've had one meal today and not flexing my abs, not flexing anything. And you guys can see I'm feeling and looking pretty thick. So I'm still pretty relatively lean, right? Like you can still see my abs technically, especially if I flex them, they're there. And, you know, in really good lighting and certain angles, I'll still look very, very lean, obviously. But I want to show you guys that I'm not as lean as what I was. Like, go look at my videos from even just a year ago, or especially like 2 years ago, when I was much leaner, when I was walking around probably like the heaviest I would be like 163, which is the way that I compete at. But I would usually walk around a little bit under that, like anywhere from like 157 to 160. And then during this off season, I got as heavy as 170 because after my last meet in December, I told you guys I really want to focus on actually like being in a good steady surplus, not getting too heavy, no crazy like dirty bulking like that, but just really maximizing my performance and getting to a point where I can be more comfortable. Because at the body weight I was at before, I was very comfortable. That's where I was eating, like, you know, comfortably, and I can maintain that leanness. So I managed to like get consistent with eating more and more often, so I can get more comfortable at this body composition. And like right now I'm chilling around like 165, and this is what I mean when I tell people, like, you know, relative leanness for powerlifting. You don't need to be fat to be a powerlifter. Like, I'm not telling you to get like bodybuilder lean or single digit body fat percentage, because that's not optimal either. But a lot of people think like, oh, I'm just gonna eat as much as possible, get as fat as possible, even though that's one, just horrible for your health, and two, you only get so much benefit from that. Yes, mass moves mass, but as I told you guys before, that's referring more to actual muscle mass. So I actually think that, like, you know, if you're at the bottom of weight class, feeling up to the top of that weight class gradually with lean mass over time, using, you know, utilizing high volume, hypertrophy phases in your off season, I think that's the best way to go about it. Or if you're sitting closer to the top or the middle of a weight class, but a lot of it's just due to a bunch of additional unnecessary fat, to cut down towards the bottom of that weight class, which, yeah, will make you a little bit more competitive as far as like Wilks or the IPF's point score system. But more importantly, from that point, you can just build a good base up into whatever weight class you're trying to sit in. So yeah, just want to show you guys this, because a lot of you guys keep saying like, oh man, aren't you kind of lean for powerlifting, or like, is the recovery hard? And it's like, guys, I'm not like, yeah, I'm relatively lean, but I'm not just like, I'm not walking around ready to get on stage or anything like that. But anyway, yeah, just want to show you guys that. Now let's get ready to head to the gym. Last week I had to work up to a top set of 6 at RP6. This time around I had to work up to a top set of 5 at RP6. Now, last week was week 1 of this block, so I was still feeling quite a bit of fatigue from week 4 of the previous block, especially with hitting like such high exertion PRs on that last SBD session of last block, like the 420 for a double at RP8, pause on squats, the 519 for a double at RP9. Like, it's not so much the fact that those are PRs, but the fact that it's such high exertion, which is usually what happens if you're hitting like a weight PR, right? It's gonna be higher exertion. I was just still feeling a little bit of fatigue coming into the first week of this block, but this past week was really easy because, you know, it's just RP6s, 5s, things like that. So I'm feeling really good this week. So I've got 453 on the bar right now, and we're gonna see how this moves, man. I think I got it for a clean 5 at RP6. All right, so that was perfect for the RP6. I literally felt like I could have gotten exactly 4 more, no less. So really happy with the way that moved. what I'm really focused on right now, guys, with my sumo, other than just like, you know, maintaining overall position, because you guys know I'm all about maintaining position, proper technique. Position and tensioning will lead to better speed, or even if it's not going as fast as what you would like, you'll still move more efficiently than what you would if you try to rush it. But with that being said, I'm actually trying to actively focus on being more explosive off of the ground, in the sense of what I'm doing when I'm tugging on the bar at the bottom is I'm really getting a feel for getting the slack out already and having it kind of like partially pulled out, so that way once I raise my hips, it's a lot easier to completely get the slack out, drive my hips back down, and as I'm driving my hips back down, before my hips are even in place, I'm already pressing into the ground as hard as I can. That's why I like, you know, I twist my feet into position similar to what I do in the squat, plant that big toe down, I press hard into the ground as I'm coming all the way down. That way, as soon as my hips hit position, from that point, it's just being patient and waiting for it to drive off the floor. And it's feeling really good. So I've got 2 back down sets with 12% less on my top set. That's 88% of my top set. So it's gonna be like 453, like 390 or 396, something like that. And then I've got 2 back down sets of remaining deadlifts after that. Alright guys, so back downs on deadlifts and RDLs felt really, really good. With the RDLs, you guys already know I'm just focusing on properly hinging at the hips, getting my glutes as far back as I can, maintaining a tight upper back, neutral lower back, all the way to the floor, then driving it back up explosively. Next, I've got pull-ups. Those of you who've been keeping up with the videos know that right now I'm just doing bodyweight pull-ups once a week for 3 sets of as many reps as possible. So I've pretty much been trying to do is just get to the point where I can get 50 reps within 3 sets. I think last week I got like 45 or 46 reps within 3 sets or something like that. Back when I used to do nothing but calisthenics, like from age 11 to 17, I think my best set, well, I know my best set was like 50 pull-ups, but I think I only weighed around like 140 pounds or so. And then of course when I started getting involved in weight training, I started getting more involved with weighted calisthenics, weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, all that kind of stuff, which you guys know I take a break from those things. Like I, periodize weighted pull-ups every now and then to my programming when Brendan lets me, but not very often and not very heavy. And I haven't touched weighted dips since I started under Brendan since January of last year, just because right now my focus is prioritizing the big 3, and those movements can be very fatiguing, both on the nervous system, muscularly, connective tissue-wise, everything like that. But after I do this meet in June, and then after I do nationals later this year, assuming I qualify for the Arnold after that, I'll do the Arnold in February, and then after that, man, I'm still powerlifting. I'm still gonna focus on the big 3, but I'm gonna really emphasize like getting back to where I was on my weighted pull-ups and dips again. I want to be my best weighted dip of 225 pounds. My best weighted chin-up, I think, was like 190 pounds. My best weighted pull-up was like 180. I got 200 on weighted chin-ups, like chin to bar, but I didn't fully clear it. So I know I can beat that. So that's what I want to work on, like, next year in 2020. But anyway, you guys already know what's up with the pull-ups. Focusing on fully elevating on the way down, initiating a little bit of depression, full range of motion, all that good jazz. Let's see what I get.
those were trash. Like, they weren't as good as what they should have been. As far as you guys saw from set to set, it looked like instead of like being depressed at the top, I was more like shrugged, because I started letting my arms do too much of the work and not initiating moving my scapula as I got tired. So I got 47 total reps. That's 1 more rep than last week, which is good. 3 reps away from 50, but it doesn't mean anything if I don't like make sure my form is clean, full range of motion all the way down. Like, I'm not going for dead hanging pull-ups or anything like that, but I do want to make sure I'm fully elevated at the top. I mean, at the bottom, and fully depressed at the top as far as my scapula, just to get the full benefits. But anyway, gonna knock out the rest of the workout. Just got cable rows and then curls, and that's it for this pull-based workout. Back at the crib, nice and cleaned up, showered up, all that good stuff. Anyway, as you guys can see, I ended up going with incline dumbbell rows instead of seated cable rows, for the mere fact that both the seated cable row machines were taken, and I just didn't feel like waiting around for them to open up. And technically speaking, what the programming calls for on this day is just a neutral grip row of choice. The reason that I wanted to get the seated cable row specifically is because if you guys been keeping my videos, that's what I've been using on this day, and I just like to be consistent with my movements, even my accessory movements, at least for 2 or 3 blocks, so that I can like just gradually see progression on them. But still felt really good, still kept the same emphasis that I always keep on doing any of my rowing motions, which is fully protracting at the bottom, initiating the movement retraction, letting the arms follow. And then I had 4 sets of 15 dumbbell hammer curls, just 30 pounds because it's 4 sets of 15. I feel like my arms would have literally fallen off had I gone any heavier, even though I'm pretty strong when it comes to curls. And then of course, got in the daily calves. I'm staying on it. You guys thought, a lot of y'all probably thought I was joking that last video, but we're really staying on it. Calves every single session, 5 sets of 12, either standing or seated. For right now, we'll see if we change it up as we keep going. And then after that, just showed you some very, very, very lazy, poorly angled, didn't even have the camera set straight on like I should have, flexing or posing. Really, the purpose of that was just to kind of show you guys the difference between like, oh, me relaxed like I was at the beginning of the video versus, yo, this is me flexing with the pump and good gym lighting, just so you guys can kind of see the difference and stuff like that. And I know that's common, like everybody should know that hopefully by now, especially watch this channel about like how people will use lighting, illusions, all that kind of stuff. But it's like yes, I am relatively lean, but I'm not so lean to where it's like, oh, recovery so hard. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys like the emphasis of that, and that I probably look a lot leaner than what I may actually be when it comes to like workout footage and everything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like, just taking you through my workouts, showing you the process. We're like at this point 6 weeks, about to be 6 weeks out from my meet, and I feel amazing. Everything feels so good. My mastering my movements feels great right now. Like sumo is really clicking. even with the heavier lows, despite having only switched to it for my comp style a few weeks ago. My current bench setup feels amazing. Squats feel really, really good. Next time I squat and I take you guys with me, I'm going to be showing you something that I kind of like, not added, something that I've always done, but like really reinforced as far as my bracing, and because it'll be a useful tip for you guys as well, because it's something that we all know we're supposed to do, but we often forget to do it. But I'm excited, man. Like it feels so good to know that my strength has increased so much this year to the point where if I go in and hit my openers pretty much, I feel like I'll still technically like PR on everything compared to my best meet from like June of last year, and definitely way better than my most recent meet in December, because that whole thing was a mess, which is why we redeeming ourselves with this series, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go leave a comment down below, let me know what you did. If you're not, leave a comment down below, let me know what I can do to get better. Like the video, share, subscribe. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch you guys later.